All right, so we're taking a deep dive into some serious accusations against Sean Diddy Combs.
Mm.
This time around,
Hmm.
he's facing charges of racketeering,
Yeah.
trafficking, and more, and it all seems to stem from these legendary parties he's known for.
Hmm.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is. It really is. And you know what makes this case so compelling is the sheer scope of it. We're talking over 100 alleged victims, with some claims going back decades.
Oh, wow.
This isn't just about one party gone wrong. It paints a picture of potential systemic abuse.
And you have to admit the terms racketeering and trafficking, they sound like they belong in a crime thriller,
Right.
not in the context of Hollywood parties.
Yeah.
Can you break those down for us a bit?
Yeah, of course. So in the simplest terms, racketeering essentially means running an illegal operation, but like under the guise of a legitimate business.
Okay.
So prosecutors seem to be building a case that Diddy used his parties and his celebrity status as like a front for something much darker.
So you're saying these weren't just these celebrity bashes.
Yeah.
These were allegedly part of a larger criminal enterprise.
That's the allegation, yeah.
Wow.
Now, trafficking in this context likely refers to the alleged coercion of individuals, potentially for exploitation.
Right.
And what makes this even more disturbing is that some of the alleged victims were reportedly underage.
Yeah, we can't gloss over that the accusations involve drugging, coercion, and potentially even minors. And if these reports are accurate, authorities actually found evidence supporting these claims when they raided multiple homes connected to Diddy.
Right. They uncovered a treasure trove of potential evidence, surveillance footage, computers, cell phone records, even firearms.
Wow.
By raiding multiple properties, authorities are suggesting that this alleged operation was vast and organized, which aligns with the racketeering charges.
Right.
They're building a case that this wasn't just a few isolated incidents.
And to add fuel to the fire, there are rumors of recordings from these parties.
Right.
If even half of what's being alleged is true, and these recordings do exist,
Oh, yeah.
it paints a very disturbing picture.
Absolutely. The prosecution's biggest challenge will be proving that these encounters weren't consensual.
Right.
They'll need to demonstrate a pattern of manipulation, coercion, and potentially the use of drugs to incapacitate victims.
Yeah.
And they'll be doing all of this while facing off against Diddy's, very powerful legal team who are already aggressively defending their client.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, you'd think, with such serious allegations and this mountain of potential evidence, Diddy would be laying low? But that's not the case at all. He's pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, and his legal team is crafting a very specific narrative.
Okay.
They're arguing that everything was consensual, part of Diddy's extravagant lifestyle. They're painting this picture of a man who enjoys the finer things in life, and that includes the company of others. Essentially, they're saying his accusers are misinterpreting his actions and intentions.
So it's a what happens at Diddy's parties stays at Diddy's parties kind of defense.
Right.
But that might be hard to maintain if those recordings do exist, not to mention the sheer number of alleged victims coming forward.
Exactly. And the judge seems to be approaching this with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yeah.
Diddy has been denied bail twice now.
Oh, wow.
The court clearly sees him as a potential flight risk, especially given his wealth and resources. And then there's the concern about potential witness tampering. It seems they want to minimize any possibility of him, influencing the case.
It makes you wonder what the judge is thinking. It's like they suspect he might try to use his influence to disappear or silence people. And you have to admit, this whole situation feels like it has the potential to snowball. We're talking about someone who threw legendary parties attended by the who's who of Hollywood. If this goes to trial, who knows what might come out.
Right, that's the wild card here. This case has the potential to extend far beyond Diddy himself.
Right.
If he decides to cooperate with authorities to turn informant in exchange for a lighter sentence, it could send shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. Imagine if he has information about other high-profile figures who attended his parties, people who might have engaged in illegal activities themselves.
Yeah, it would be like opening Pandora's box.
Exactly, and suddenly all those celebrities distancing themselves on social media, deleting tweets, wiping their accounts clean, it makes you wonder, are they just trying to protect their reputations, or is there something more to it?
It's all speculation at this point, but there's no denying that this case has cast a long shadow over Hollywood. We're left wondering who else might be implicated. What secrets might be revealed?
What's fascinating to me is how this situation highlights the power dynamics at play, not just in Hollywood, but in any industry where you have these massive figures, these gatekeepers. Did people look the other way because of Diddy's status? Were they afraid to speak out? It raises some very uncomfortable questions.
It's like everyone's holding their breath right now, like waiting to see who Diddy might try to, drag down with him if he decides to make a deal.
Right.
We've already seen Usher deleting old tweets, Pink and Megan Fox, like, doing a full-on social media scrub.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're trying to, like, erase any connection they had to Diddy and his inner circle.
It's a classic case of damage control. I mean, these celebrities have these meticulously crafted public images they need to maintain.
Right.
And right now, any association with Diddy is toxic. So
Yeah.
their publicists are probably working overtime to distance them from this whole scandal.
Yeah, because in the court of public opinion, perception is everything, right?
Absolutely.
And when there are rumors of potential recordings floating around out there, you can understand why people are nervous.
Of course.
Who knows what those recordings might reveal or who else might be, like, caught in the crosshairs.
Exactly. And let's not forget, this entire case hinges on this question of power and influence.
Right.
Diddy's fame and his fortune, it afforded him a certain level of protection
For sure.
and potentially a culture of silence that grew around him.
So we're talking about a situation where people may have seen things, questionable behavior, but they were afraid to speak out because of who Diddy was, the power he held in the industry.
Yeah, precisely. And that's why this case has the potential to be so significant.
Right.
If it does go to trial and if witnesses, feel safe enough to actually testify truthfully,
Yeah.
it could break down those walls of silence.
Wow.
We could see a domino effect with more people coming forward, not just about Diddy, but about other powerful figures who benefited from this culture of fear.
It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
This isn't just about one man's, alleged wrongdoings. This is about a system that allowed this behavior to flourish.
Yeah.
And if Diddy does decide to talk, it could send these ripples of accountability throughout Hollywood and beyond.
Absolutely. What's important to remember, and what we hope you take away from this deep dive, is that these issues extend far beyond the entertainment industry. This case shines a light on the abuse of power that can occur in any field where you have these massive disparities of influence.
So the next time you see a celebrity scandal in the headlines, don't just dismiss it as gossip. Think about the power dynamics at play, the potential victims, and the courage it takes to speak out against those who seem untouchable.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what other stories are still waiting to be told, and who will be brave enough to tell them.